Richard Lewis, who's at the Improv at the Waterfront. How are you doing, Richard? I heard you wear a device on your wrist that simulates ailments.
I didn't have a heart attack. What are you telling me? Don't scare me.
Yeah, you have some device that simulates ailment symptoms in case, just to let you know what's coming. Is that
yeah, before Sharper Image went out of business, I bought a device that simulates heart attacks, appendectomies. So when you have it, you don't freak.
Right, you're used to it.
Yeah, you go, oh, that's a heart attack. And it was $500. It's like those massage. Know why they went out of business?
Why?
Would you go to? How much is a massage chair? It's $15,000. Okay, good. Why else can they go out of business? How much is this alarm clock? Well, it's not just an alarm clock. It's Dolby sound, and it gives you a massage and a lap dance if your wife's out of town. How much? It's $802,000. And they want to know why Sharp Image went out of business. It's a recession.
I know.
Recession.
And everything, even though it was high tech, looked like it was cheap plastic crap. You notice that in the Sharp Image?
I bought some good things. I got the lap chance massage. I'm a recovered drug addict for 14 years, so I try to be principled now. But my wife, how could she live with this old man? It's sad.
Newly married.
No, and I say this I'm not homophobic, but she has to be a lesbian, otherwise it's a practical joke. But I love country western. I'm not just stroking you guys, really.
Richard,
every one of my favorite folk artists always do songs about Hank Williams. Hank Williams was the man.
Oh yeah.
You know that, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
The man.
Yes.
And all the folkies in the '60s all wrote songs about Hank. And
they still do.
Yeah, they still do. Then I went, and there's a reason, because he's like like the Lenny Bruce. He started that type of music for folk, and then everyone sort of fell from that tree, Hank Williams tree. That's fine. That's what I think, anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Richard Lewis with us. Richard Lewis at the Improv at the Waterfront.
It open tonight, and I close Sunday, and then you hear a gunshot Monday, and there'll be some more for you at the Improv.
And in your words, the next monkey rolls in town.
Bring in the next monkey.
Next monkey.
Richard, of course, with Curb Your Enthusiasm back for 7th season.
Well, Larry, that's what he said, but you don't like to ask a billionaire,
I got to imagine though, Richard, that over the years that you have been pitched disastrous ideas for TV shows because they think, hey, anything but love. This guy's funny. I got a great idea for it.
Yeah, I've done a lot. Well, 11 years on a series is plenty for me, and this will be 12. And I've done pilots that didn't last. I've done a couple of series that didn't last. But
did you have any you turned down that you said, oh my God, I can tell?
No, I created a show for me and Don Rickles that didn't last. And I was on another show with Alan Arkin. I've been on a lot of shows that didn't last. But I'm a comic at heart. And I've written a book, The Other Great Depression, which is out on audio cassette in about 3 weeks, and half of it's funny, I might add. Any guy struggling with alcohol, drug abuse, pick up. I'm not gonna make any money, but if I can help save your life, fine. If not, then come to the club and drink. Just don't drive. I never understood how I should have killed over 100,000 people for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Driving drunk that's really. I don't preach about this. This is all about me. I got sober because I was going to die, but the boy thing is. To drive loaded is insane. Just have someone else drive. Sit in the back.
It's easy.
Hallucinate in the back. Why drive and think you're seeing the Brady Bunch in front of you?
Right.
Coming on the other direction.
Because it's easy to do right nowadays. I mean, they have text cab. You can text and a cab shows up.
Yeah, no. You should have at least one friend in a group if you get loaded on a Friday. Like, all right, he's not driving. Leave the car here and we'll drive him home. Pick the car up in the morning. I mean, how hard is that? Boy, I'll tell you, man. If anyone I loved was killed by a drunk driver, I'd become like I'd be postal.
Mm. Oh yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, look, it's a tragedy. But anyway, the Improv, I'm going to be all laughs because I live for. It's so great hearing people laugh now. It's so stressful, and now in the political election, it's going to be fantastic. And I am a Democrat, and McCain. Look, I'm glad he was a war hero because there aren't that many. But that was in the '60s, and now we're in 2010. And I don't knock his age because I just turned 60, so I know he's in his 70s, and I know he has some memory problems, and I know he thinks he lives in Paris, and I don't care. I just it's going to be an interesting election.
The Improv.
Hank Williams called me, and he said he was running for Obama because he's a Democrat, but that's fine.
The Improv, of course, a very green club. They didn't waste any paper on newspaper ads for Richard. They said, Richard, why don't you get up early and come in?
I'm in the Tribune.
Tribune.
But the other paper, who's run by the famous right-wing guy, Scathingworth, what's his name, Woolworth? Who cares? Listen, I looked under so they didn't list They said, so who's in comedy? I've been doing this 38 years. Shouldn't they at least have the respect to list the guy who sold out Carnegie Hall in 1989? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On a cult TV show on HBO. Here's what they had. They had a rodeo. They had a Big Ben look-alike at some comedy club in a mall. Wait, I'm in a mall. Wait a minute. No, now I'm at the waterfront.
Yeah.
What is Homestead? Is that a cattle drive?
It's
I'm
kind
in
of
the
like
middle of a tour. I have no idea. Where
it's
am
a little
I?
bit like a mall, but it's spread out.
Yeah, it's an outdoor
Homestead.
mall.
I could care less. I never see the front of the venue. I go through the kitchen. I go on. I pray the audience is great, and I will destroy them. And then I go home, and I stare at the 10 guns on my bed and say, should I continue to torture my wife and be her husband? And I say yes. I put the guns back into the attaché, and then I have to sell them because of course you can't ever shake my hand again. Hank Williams, I would shake. Lucinda Williams, I would shake. She's married now.
Robin Williams.
Vanessa Williams.
Cindy
Vanessa Williams.
And the Williams-Sonoma catalog.
That, can I say right now, they're on fire comedically.
Richard Lewis.
Fire.
Thank you.
And if they say that country and western
Right.
people don't have a sense of humor,
Absolutely.
I would touch the Williams Sonoma account. Say they right now,
Yeah.
I think you should go to a mental hospital.
Right.
I'm unhappy. I'm disgusted with you now.
Right.
I open tonight. I close Sunday. 6 shows. I'm right financially. I love Pittsburgh. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. It used to be the best city in the country, and now it's down to 100,000. I don't know what happened. But the bridges, the Allegheny, the Monongahela. I always thought the Monongahela was a yeast infection. All right.
Depends
So
where you
is that
swim in
it?
it.
I love you guys. You've always been good to me.
Improv at the waterfront is Richard Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Come see him.
I've
Thank
dedicated
you.
my life. I have no sperm left and no children. It's all about you and my wife and Pittsburgh. So you better be there or you'll hear a gunshot. If I don't sell that at least on Saturday and Friday, it's over.
Oh, he's fun, man. Oh, that's good time.
You guys are great.
Oh.
That's some fun. Thank
Don't
you
hate
for
me.
coming in.
Don't hate me in public.